fucking swear to God. What a falafels. I've never known anything like it. Virgin media. Virgin fucking media. That's all I've got to say. Virgin media. You've been pants all day and you're still pants now. That's all I have to say on the subject. Other than that, let's carry on. There we are, everybody. There we go. There we are indeed. Now, what a palaver that was. What a falafeling palaver that was. Now, you would not believe the day that I've had today. Like, you would not believe it. Literally, from the moment I woke up at about 5 o'clock this morning, look at my face. Look at my face. Look at that. Like, look. I managed to do that, right? So I was sat here in the chair. And I fell asleep in the chair like I do. And I think a ghost come along and pushed me forward out of the chair. And then I hit my head on the floor. And then I cut it open there. And then I hurt my knee as well. And I think it was a ghost. Just putting it out there. But that's a side show. That's a side conversation anyway. Hopefully people can hear what I'm saying. This is only going to be a quick one for me because last night I was thinking. And if anyone's got any comments to make on this would be very interesting to see your viewpoints, right? Hi, Alexander. How you doing? You good? We need to speak. I was thinking about you the other day, Alex. We need to... I want to speak with you. I need to catch up with you later. It'd be very interesting to get people's viewpoints on this, right? So I saw the other night... Yesterday was a bit of a shockingly bad webinar that I did because I was a bit hanging from the celebratory night before. And I saw something on Facebook that made me question relationships, yeah? And I mean, when I make this, I mean like couples having joint Facebook pages. What is all that about? Is that a trust issue? Or is that like not a trust issue? Because surely if you can't allow your partner to have a private Facebook account because you're worried that they're going to be speaking to another bloke or another woman, surely you've got to question whether or not you should be in that relationship with that person then or not, no? Now, this is just my viewpoints. You think it's a trust issue? I think it's a trust issue. I think it'd be a trust issue. Because for me, like, you should better wholeheartedly trust that, so that your missus or your boyfriend or whatever husband to better have their own singular Facebook account. And I've had clients that have said to me, "Oh yeah, my partner, my ex-husband or whatever, didn't want a Facebook account, but he would go through mine and comment on all my friends, and it was awkward because he didn't know my friends, but he was making comments as if it was me." That's awkward, man. That's awkward. That is seriously awkward. It should be a symbol of togetherness, yeah? So, for example, I suppose in some ways, if you're looking at it like logically, playing devil's advocate, a joint Facebook account could represent a visible public declaration for their unity and commitment to each other. It can be seen as a symbol of togetherness, showcasing that they navigate their digital lives as a team. Someone says it's a 100% trust issue. My ex did that and checked my phone, and then I knew it when it was time to call it. That's it. Yeah, that is definitely. So we're going on the trust issue. I think it's also can be quite controlling. I think it's controlling because from what I can gather, people are doing that. And like this comment, I can't see your name, so forget this Facebook user. But about your ex doing that, and then I think they use it as oh, I'm on your Facebook. Let me check your Facebook. But then what they're doing is they're going through the phone and then they're controlling who you. Oh, don't be friends with that person. Don't be friends with that person. And don't get me wrong, I hold my hands up. When I was younger and I was with my ex-wife, I was like, oh, I got a bit antsy. I got a bit like, oh, you are speaking to your ex-boyfriend, or you went to school with that person. But then you think about it, as I've grown up, as I've matured, it's like, well, that's it. If you look at my Facebook, I've got like hundreds of ex-girlfriends on there, like thousands. But that doesn't mean I'm going to go back off and do anything with them. They're ex-girlfriends from when I was young. So yeah, that's my thing on there. That's my viewpoint on that. In certain cases, I think joint accounts can prevent jealousy from happening, I suppose, if you're playing devil's advocate again. Couples might prefer the simplicity of it if you're really going down that road. But again, I'm finding it really difficult. I'm finding it really difficult to find or logically in my head accept that it's okay, because it's not. I don't think it's okay. I don't think it is. I really don't. In fact, if you know anybody that's got a joint account, I mean, I'd say to them, I mean, it's not my place to say, but it's like, surely you've got to be like questioning how much does that person trust you? And I swear to God, Virgin Mobile, Virgin, we're now using my Wi-Fi router, by the way, like the Huawei Wi-Fi router from 3 Mobile. So if the network goes shit, that's why. But it's been crap all day, and then suddenly I'm going to do a live, and I take off. Virgin used to be good. Yeah, I'm not just having a moan now, but Virgin used to be good. I've never known anything so bad in my life. Again, going back to this, if they're couples share in interests, but they don't share, is it good? Is it good for couples to share every single interest and be inside each other's lives for all of that? Like literally, look at what happened at lockdown. Look at what happened when lockdown happened, right? Lockdown happened, and because all the people were living together that were not living together, they were in each other's pockets, they realised that they didn't love each other anymore, and they never probably loved each other in the first place because they'd fallen apart, and then because they are having to stay in the same house together, and whoever's not going to work in the office and can't have their affair or whatever they were doing over there and can't get their little fix, then the relationships broke down. I mean, for me, I think I'm too damaged to even get into a level of relationship. I think every time I go out into, like, on Tinder or whatever, and I'll go out on a date, I'm like, oh, go out for a drink, and then you see the red flags. I'm like, oh, damn it, I can't get beyond the red flags. And I'm like, it's just not for me. It's too much effort. And dating, I mean, I'm not being funny. Dating, yeah? Dating is just, what the falafels? They want me to spend money on beer and wine and food, which is fine. But at the same point, are they really worth it? Which is why you have to go on the dates beforehand, which costs more money. And I don't understand this while we're on the subject about dates, right? Cinema, theatre. This is meant to be like, I know it's romantic and stuff, and I know we're supposed to be talking about other things, but you're not talking to each other. So you go in the cinema, and the lights are off, and you're watching the TV screen, but you're not talking to each other. You're not getting to know each other. What's the point? I just don't get it. What is the point? I think I've got that off my chest now, really, to be honest. Feel a bit better. Not happy about the ghost that pushed me off the chair this morning, that's for sure. But yeah, I just wanted to get that off my chest. I mean, I think for me, the conclusion is, if you're in a relationship and you've got a joint account with your Facebook account, I would suggest maybe making another one. Maybe just making another Facebook account and saying to your partner, you have that one by yourself, and you keep that yourself there, and you can have my friends in there as well if you don't know anybody, and I'll make my own one, and then see what reaction you get. Because like Alex says, it's controlling. I think it's controlling because it's a way of monitoring people without actually saying I'm monitoring you. That's like saying to a joint Facebook account, that means you can't go out together. It's like, this is a question you should ask yourself. If you've got a joint Facebook account, are you allowed to go out by yourself? That's one thing, right? Because this is all abuse, right? This is for me, I think it's abuse, right? Unless it's agreed, in which case it's not abuse, but then I think it's still controlling behaviour. It depends on how it's used as well, I suppose. It depends on how it's used. But if there's a pattern there, there's a pattern. So you've got a joint Facebook account. What happens when you say you want to go out with your mates by yourself? Is it your usual? Because I've done this before. Oh, they come down. Thank you, Alex. You're on it with this. That is a big question. So if you come down, you're looking all fit. Your missus comes down looking all fit, and then she's like going out for nights out with the mates, and you're like, oh, do you have to wear that? Oh, not too sure about that. Bit too short, no. And then you're criticising her. And then she gets fed up with dressing herself up, and then you start moaning about the fact that she never dresses up. These are really bad things for men. I'm just having a go at men right now, but it's not just meant to be just men. But the big question is, like he says, are you allowed to go out by yourself? How does he make you feel? Or how does she make you feel if you go out by yourself and you've got a joint Facebook account? Is there a pattern? Is there a coalition? Is there... Because if you've got the joint Facebook account, you're not allowed to go out by yourself. These are red flags, man. These are red flags. And this is not a gender thing, because it could be either. So it's definitely, this should be like red flags you're looking at here. What about if you've got a joint Facebook account, but then you're being stopped from seeing your family? Because what about if you've got the family, you've been told you're not allowed to see family and you've got a joint Facebook account? These things you need to be asking these questions. Red flags all over the place. For me, if someone wanted a joint Facebook account with me, I would be like, you don't want to do that. You get trolled, you get upset, you get trolled all the time. You get trolled all the time. You'd be offended. That said, I'm not in a relationship, and that's probably a reason why I'm single, because, well, I don't think I'll ever trust anyone ever again, really. Which is a shame, but I think after you've been through the shite that... I don't know how I feel about this. I've given myself, when I'm in a relationship, I'm a Scorpio, I think I might be saying to it. When I'm in a relationship, I give everything, yeah? So I'm like all in or nothing. And I make sure that I behave really bad at the beginning of the relationship, so they know that I'm a really bad person, and that's the worst I could behave. And if they can get through that, and they're still together, then good, let's crack on. But I don't even get the opportunity now to even behave bad, because I'm like, I can't be bothered to behave bad, because it's just, what's the point? But then if I'm seeing too many red flags, for example, like the other week when it was a month ago, 2 months ago, I went down to Bromley, and I was in Bromley and went and met his bed for a drink. And I ended up just saying I'm going to the toilet, and I never come back, because I was just like, it's just too much effort. It's too much effort. Like, I was in Luton, and I was going to go down to Bournemouth to meet some other bird. And then she started questioning me, because I said, I've got to do some work when I'm with you, because my work doesn't stop. Hence why I come back yesterday from the festival, because people still needed me and shit. So if I'm with you tonight, then I'm going to have to be working with you. Is that going to be okay? Oh, I'm not too sure. You're not going to focus on me, just solely on me? No, I can't just focus solely on you, sorry. Can't do that. And then because she made me feel uncomfortable, I was like, falafels to that as well. I'm not going down that road. I'm just going to call it a day there. And I never actually made it to her house. Maybe I'm too ruthless when it comes to things like that. But then I base everything on Bandana now. Bandana, the one that got away. For those who don't know me properly or don't know the story, Bandana is the one that picked me up out of the gutter. You're in a relationship, you're still an individual. Yes, I agree, yeah. Look, I think, we'll come on to that in a second, Alex, but I think for me, I thought every relationship was like my ex-wife, where you're going to get shouted at, you're going to get beaten up, and you're going to get abused. And I thought that's just how relationships were, because I'd seen my parents have a relationship like that, which was just fire and fury and blah, blah, blah. And then I met Bandana, who was never a sexual thing. It was just a relationship, a friendship. And she pulled me out of the gutter, and she made sure that I got myself back on track, turned to vegetarian for a little while, stopped drinking, stopped everything, sorted myself out, basically. And if it wasn't for Bandana, I wouldn't be alive. But she showed me that even when I was making mistakes, that she can talk. She calmly talk and be sweet and be all cool. And one thing she did do as well is she allowed me to have my own space and be my individual. Because as a Scorpio, I think this is a Scorpio thing. I'm not sure if anyone else feels like this. I love to be in a relationship. I love the fact that I'm, especially when I broke my leg, especially when I was in hospital for 6 weeks last year. And I had no one visiting me in hospital. And my daughter visited me once so she could get a day off school. But then her mum wasn't allowed to let her to come up. And then and I was just by myself. So I was like, fuck it. So I wished then at that point I had someone I was in a relationship with, someone who could parent me, or not parent me, but care for me and make sure that I was okay. But then at the same time, Alex says there, I want my own space. Like literally, I will sit here for 3 days at a time, 4 days at a time. And who's this I visited? Who's that? I can't see. That's going to be someone. I don't know who it is because I can't see it. But someone visited. There was people that visited. I had Dan that visited. I had Anthony that visited. I had James that visited. I had people that visited. They just weren't women that I would have wanted visited. Like whatever. Don't get me wrong. I appreciated everybody visiting me. I appreciated it all because it was the people that I least expected to visit that did visit. But there's also people there. There's also people there that I was doing their C100s when I was in the hospital bed. I was in court while I was in the hospital bed. I couldn't believe that. I was like, the court still let me in. They were like, "Are you in hospital?" Yeah, I'm in hospital. Yeah, I'll do the hospital from the hospital bed. That's commitment right there. I tell you, right there. But I think as an individual, you're right, Alex. I need my space, man. I need my space, and doing what I do here with this, like the work that I do, I'm committed. The work that I do is I'm committed to the fucking people I'm working for, and it keeps me busy and it keeps my mind occupied, and there's always something to do. I would love to find a partner, a missus that was like accepting of the work that I do, accepting that I go to bed at 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, and get up when I get up and do what I want to do. Mr. Yap, hello, sir. I think it's the most important thing in a relationship is to have your time to yourself. I don't like it when I'm smothered. That's when the relationship doesn't work. I totally agree with that. Totally get that. I literally need to have my own space. And I like to walk. I don't know if anyone else finds this, but fucking walking, mate. I shouldn't be walking because of my leg, but I walk everywhere. And I'll do it. I think this is what Bandana taught me from having from the breakdown of my marriage, and I was in a bad way. I learned about meditation and breathing and that sort of shit. And you never underestimate the value of breathing. Because as an impulsive person that doesn't think before they speak, always me, I would always get myself in trouble with that. But then breathing and not responding straight away is the most powerful thing. I said this the other night. I don't know if it was yesterday or the other week, or it might have been someone on a phone call. But you need to, when you're speaking to Kafkas, this is something that they will always pick up on. They picked up on it with me. They picked up on it with this other guy the other day. When you're speaking to Kafkas, make sure you have got a good 10-second, it's meant to be 30 seconds, but that's a little bit too uncomfortable, 10-second gap between when they've asked you the question and when when you've answered it, or when you start answering it. Because it shows that you're active listening, and it shows that you're going to think before you speak. Sounds quite basic to a lot of people, but it's easier said than done, as is most things in this world. Much easier said than done. So that's that. I think that's pretty much all I had to say, because it was a bit of a quick one for me, because I've still got loads to do and people to call. So I'm going to do the shooting off stuff because I've got forms to fill in too, especially for a couple of people on here. And that's that. But keep your eyes open for McKenzie Friend Academy. That's going to be landing on the 8th of August. Free registrations are starting already. People are joining up for that already. So that's going to be training and coaching people to become a McKenzie friend. And then working under sort of the umbrella, but then being self-employed and making sure that you will have clients and blah 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 to make sure that you're getting stuff coming in, because we've got a client base still already that you can take from, especially if you're in a local area. So that's that. And then also you've got, what else is there? What else is there? If you don't want to become a McKenzie friend, then you'll also be, if you need support in court, then obviously we're here to help you through court as well. That's pretty much it, really. If you need anything from other than anything else, and Mr. Alex, we speak because I'm doing. There we go. I'll get to any questions this week, buddy. Cool, man. Nice one. Tom, I'll speak to you soon. Visited Facebook. You visited. I think that's going to be Anthony, or it's going to be someone else, obviously. But I'm going to go before I get cut off. Peace and love, everybody. Love. Speak to you all soon. Or please do give me a call or drop me a message. Peace and love.